All right, good morning. Happy Monday, May 2nd. If you missed class today, gonna be fairly easy today. We're gonna work on the retrieval for lesson 3 and the ready and go for lesson 3. So again, that's lesson 3, all right? The retrieval and the ready. And it's pretty simple, really. It's looking at, and I don't know why they didn't do this before, but it's looking at whether an event is dependent or independent, and what that means. It says if one action affects the next, then the actions or events are dependent. If one action has no effect on the next, then the actions are considered independent. So with the retrieval, we're going to look at a couple of questions related to the ready and the go. And then you'll just work on those in class. There's literally 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 questions really, and 5 of the 8 are multiple choice. So 5 of the 8 are just like questions 1 and 2 here. So waking up when an alarm goes off and being on time to school, does that sound like a dependent or an independent event? Well, there's 2 things happening here. Okay. Alarm GOES, G-O-E-S. There we go. If the alarm doesn't go off, what's not going to happen? You're not going to get to school. So that would be a dependent event. One event affects the other. 2, rolling a standard 6-sided die and tossing a coin. So I'm rolling a die and I'm tossing a coin. Do those sound like independent events or dependent events? Well, those would be independent events because rolling a die has no effect on you flipping the coin. All right? If we were rolling a die and getting a 1, and then rolling a die again and getting a 4, something like that might change that. And then lastly here, sorry, I'm doing this rather fastly. Create a proportion. So it says a b-ball player makes 4 out of 10 shots. And yes, I kind of butchered the sentence because I didn't feel like writing the whole thing. It's down here at the bottom of the board, and not many people are probably going to see it anyway. And you have it on your paper. So a b-ball player makes 4 out of 10 shots. If a basketball player makes 4 out of 10 shots, that's 4 out of 10. There is a ratio right there. Right? Now it says create a proportion. Well, what is a proportion? Remember, a proportion is 2 ratios set equal to each other. Well, we already have one ratio. Now we need to create the other, and we need to solve. How many shots will a player need to take to make 30 shots? Well, think about where those numbers have to go. Is 4 the number of shots they made, or is 4 the number of shots they took? Okay? So 4 is what they made, 10 is what they took. So over here it needs to be the same. Made, took, made, took. Well, it says how many shots to take in order to make 30. So where is 30 going to go? 30 better go on the make side, which is the top, and how many shots to take, that's what I need to figure out. So that kind of helps you set the proportion up correctly. Now that it's set up correctly, how do we solve proportions? Yes, we cross multiply. So 4x is equal to 10 times 30. I'm going to divide both sides by 4, which 2 times 2 is 4. It's the same thing. But why did I put 2 times 2? Well, I know that half of 10 is 5, and I know half of 30 is 15. So I just reduced my numbers. So 15 times 5. What's 15 times 5? Well, gee, I'll do this old school. It's 25 and 75. So he needs to take 75 shots. So down here, I'm going to put 75 shots. Okay? The biggest thing about setting up these ratios is you have to pay attention to where to put the numbers. Like I said, the first one's pretty easy. 4 out of 10. That's easy. You go to the free throw line and you make 4 out of 10 shots. The second one has to be done the same way. How many I made versus how many I take. All right? So wherever the ratio goes for there. So what you're to do, what we did in class today, is you're going to work on the ready, which I'm telling you is pretty easy. The ready are like these, so do the best you can with the dependent events. And then on the paper, I won't show you on the back side here, But on the back side, I just went ahead, yeah, so you got a brief second there, you can't even see it. I just divided this into 4 quadrants. I did my work on 3 spaces, so showed my work. So show your work, no credit.